Hello everyone, my name is Reed and welcome to Storytime. Today we are going to be reading some malicious compliance stories, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. The clock decides when you clock out. So I work a night shift at a Burger King that runs pretty well together. We all know our stations well and run smoothly. Unfortunately, we have a staffing problem that means I have to stay late to take orders for drive-thru pretty regularly. I personally have no problem with it. More hours means more money. Our shift managers asked me to do it, so they obviously don't mind, and our general manager understands we're short-staffed. Our regional manager, on the other hand, had a big one. The regional, who I'll call R from now on, came in for the usual checkup he does every month and noticed I was regularly staying an hour or more late. R: OP, why are you staying so late? Me: We're short-staffed at the moment, sir. It's necessary. R, now looking a little peeved: From now on, you go home on time. The clock decides when you clock out. Understood? I nod and kowtow like a good corporate drone, and that's that for a while. Fast forward another month. We got a few new hires, but I still have to stay late, and on top of that, I'm training 2 of them. R comes back and sees that I'm staying late. R, condescending: How hard is it to understand you cannot stay late anymore? Sir, I have to. Our staffing is too thin. I don't care. It's general manager's problem. If she can't schedule hours properly, that's on her. If I see you late again, your hours will be cut. Now, there's 2 things I disliked about this interaction. 1, he talked down to me and essentially called my manager incompetent. I understand he's a superior, but I believe a leader should treat their members with respect. 2, he threatened my livelihood, so I decided to follow his orders. For the next month, I clocked out at exactly when the clock changed and my time was up. During rushes or slow days, I never came in early or late, and the same with my leaving. My time always ended in 2 zeros. I felt bad for my coworkers, but they understood. Come next check-in, R calls in my general manager and asks why our orders take so long. Burger King times how long it takes for the drive-thru to get a car out. She tells me later that she explained our staffing problem and that no one is around who can confidently cover drive after I'm gone, and since I leave and clock in on the dot, I sometimes leave them in chaos. 2 minutes later, I'm called in and told I can stay late again. Always some bigwig that thinks they know what's best for the company and they think they know how to do someone else's job when clearly they don't. No one knows the job better than the person doing it, so you should take their advice and listen to the things they have to say. I went without my phone for 9 months. First time posting here, but I think this fits. My mom would take away my phone as punishment when I was 13 or so. I got it when I got my first job because it was a 20-minute bus ride away. She would say to do X or else. I would or wouldn't do it, and eventually my phone would be taken away for a couple of days. It didn't matter if I did it because she would use the same threat the next day, so eventually I would give up. She would go a couple weeks before using it as a threat after giving my phone back, but it was her only solution. When I was 15, I was sick of this pattern, so I bought a $30 safe, put my phone in there, and slept in the next day. I handed over the safe, and she couldn't give me my phone back unless I wanted her to. I refused to do some things like going to church and babysitting, and she couldn't make me. I refused to communicate with her through other people's phones as well, so if I was staying at school for leadership, she would have to find someone to watch the kids so she could walk over. I mean, I wasn't allowed on phones, right? My family was really annoyed that they couldn't contact me, but my mother was trying to be stubborn. My mother had never seen me be determined to do anything before, and she thought she could outlast me. By month 2, everyone was begging my mother to give me my phone back. Older siblings, grandparents who drove me, my dad. She just said to communicate through her, but she was getting annoyed. By month 4, she was basically begging me to take my phone back. She promised she got the point, but I didn't think she did yet. I still had control, so I just refused to unlock the safe. My relatives were annoyed I was being stubborn, seeing that she offered to give it back, but this was the hill I was going to die on, so I ignored them all. Besides, had I learned the lesson yet? Eventually, after 9 months of it being locked in a safe, I took my phone back and started using it again. I spent 9 months without a phone, and even though it made some things inconvenient, it was much worse for everyone around me. My mom never even threatened to take my phone away again. I was a decent kid who helped a lot and did good in school, but sometimes you just don't want to do everything you're told, so you tolerate the punishments. She still takes away tech from my little bros, but they are younger and do stuff that kinda deserves it. Story for another day, another subreddit. But she didn't try and force me to do stuff after this. I am in utter shock that a teenager could go 9 months without their phone just because they were stubborn. That is awesome. Props, OP. Major props. A woman has a problem with my clothes, so I take them off. Yesterday I was at the gym with my friend. I have had minor problems with people there before, but nothing as ridiculous as this. I had been training with my friend since 6 a.m., so the gym was pretty dead. At about 7:30, a woman comes in. There were only 2 other people in the gym at the time, the manager and some other person working out in a different section. The woman checks in and heads down the stairs. She passes by my friend and me who were working out on one of their punching bags. She stops for a second to look at me. At the time, I assumed it was because of my mad kicking skills. This was not the case. A minute or so later, she comes back. "Karen, you can't wear that in here." I was wearing normal workout clothes, waist-high sweatpants/joggers, and a muscle shirt that was a bit short, but because my pants were high, it wasn't revealing anything. Me, confused. Sorry? You should be sorry. You shouldn't wear clothes like that in public. This is a place of God, and you are disgracing it. The gym was connected to a church. I bet you are not even here to work out. You were just here to show off to your boyfriend, pointing to my friend who was trying not to laugh. You need to change. Your shirt is way too short. Those clothes are not allowed in here. She tried to continue, but I had an idea, so I cut her off. So, you have a problem with my shirt? Uh-huh. Okay. I take off my shirt. I was wearing a sports bra underneath that covered everything, and you could only see an inch of my midriff due to the high-waisted pants. I had worn just a sports bra in there before, so I knew it wouldn't be a problem. Karen shrieks, "Put your shirt back on right now! I'm going to talk to the owner and get you kicked out." Great. She storms back up the stairs to the desk where the manager is. I knew I wouldn't be in trouble since I know the manager and he knows me pretty well since I also teach martial arts classes at the gym. I looked at my friend like, WTF just happened? And he finally just burst out laughing, so I threw my shirt at him. Karen starts talking to him, but I can't hear what she is saying. I grab my water bottle and sneak up the stairs and behind her, trying not to be noticed. That tramp down there took her shirt off and exposed herself to me. Karen was busy yelling at the manager, so she didn't notice me. So behind her, I started pointing to myself and mouthing, "I'm the tramp, and that's me," to the manager. The manager laughs at me, and the Karen yells at him for laughing because this is not a laughing matter. I still don't know how she didn't see me. I didn't want to be caught, so I walk down the hall to the water fountain, fill up my water bottle, and when I get back, the Karen is gone. Manager, why do you always have to make my job difficult? Because it's fun. Where'd she go? She stormed out after I refused to kick you out. Well, she left her bag downstairs. Do you think I could give it to her when she comes back? Manager thinks about it for a second. No, unfortunately, I have to leave it behind the desk until she claims it. Dang, alright. I run downstairs to grab the bag and give it to him. My friend and I were there for another hour, and sadly she didn't come back, but I am still overjoyed that I got to experience a wild Karen. And thank you, Malicious Compliance, for giving me the idea of what to do. Next time I am at the gym, I will be sure to ask if she came in for her bag, and I will update y'all on what happened. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone in real life call someone a tramp. I wish I could have been there for that conversation. Employee evaluations can't have 5s? Okay. After reading a post on poor management and a comment on employee reviews, I remembered this. For some background, I worked for a medium-sized company, maybe 200 employees. I started off by being promoted rather quickly into supervising a few people. My supervisor initially loved me. I'd work 60-hour weeks for ridiculously low pay, set up systems, help organize a dysfunctional department, did part of his job, etc. I won best employee, etc. This quickly faded into being threatened by my efficiency and refusal to play politics. He knew I was liked higher up because I was good at what I did, and he didn't like it. Come time for my yearly evaluations, and they were at 3s, maybe a 4 here or there. I was disappointed, but whatever. Now I had to rate the people I was supervising. My people did good work. They deserved 4s and 5s. He did not like this. He claimed HR didn't like that. I was informed my ratings were too high and to redo them. Malicious compliance time. After speaking to my subordinates to let them know I had been commanded to change their reviews and obtaining their permission, I changed them to solid 3s. Ooh, this set him off. I swear I could see veins popping. He accused me of being insubordinate and demanded I change them again to make them reflect what I truly believed. I informed him that is what I had done the first time, and I had no idea how to make them less good. I have no idea what happened and which set were finally turned in, but a few years later when I was promoted into that position, I never had any issues with any of the ratings I gave. HR never said a word. I don't think they even looked at them past saying they had one for every person. The ratings were meaningless and had nothing to do with raises, bonuses, or promotions. Well, if they have nothing to do with anything, why the heck are we wasting time doing them? Triangle compliance. This is a story that I was reminded of recently of me being a smart butt in grade school, 6 years old or so. We were being taught about basic shapes, triangles and rectangles and so forth, when the teacher said 2 things that came together in a wonderful plan. She said that a curve counts as one side, so a circle has one side for example, and that a triangle has 3 sides and 3 points. A square has 4 sides and 4 points, etc., but not anything about them having straight lines. And finally, we had a little project where we had to draw the basic shapes on a big sheet of paper. I started off with a triangle, and to be fair, it had 3 sides and 3 points, but it was basically Pac-Man. After that, I got creative. Rectangles that included loops and all sorts of fun dipsy doodles. Hexagons that looked like abstract art, and everything I could think of to make them as inconvenient as possible. But I was covered because she had given us a piece of paper with the rules behind the shapes, neglecting the whole straight lines thing, and I had made dang sure that every single one of the shapes followed the rules. The teacher wasn't too happy and didn't give me a passing mark. I took it home to my parents and they started asking questions about why it didn't have a passing mark. Eventually, there was a parent-teacher meeting where it was pointed out that everything I had put on that paper followed the instructions given. It's just that the instructions given weren't what the teacher wanted. After some argument, the teacher did give me a passing mark, and I got a well-earned reputation for being a little punk. The story was recently retold to me by my mom. I don't actually remember any of it, and don't know if it was embellished or by how much, but it's fun, so whatever. Alright, that's all the stories we have for today. I hope you really enjoyed them because I did. If you did like what you heard, then make sure to subscribe for more content. It's coming out daily. Anyways, that's all. So, see ya. Get out of here. Have a good day. Bye.